Condition, condition, condition. Let's talk about hair growth. For some reason, people are under the impression that Black people cannot have long, healthy hair. And I'm here to let you know that regardless of your skin complexion, regardless of your hair texture, you can have long, healthy hair as well. So when people usually see someone of color with long hair that doesn't have any Hispanic descent, they believe that they are either A, mixed with something else, regardless if it's Caucasian or Hispanic or something else other than Black, or they think that it's fake. So it's just pure ignorance out here. Now, your genetics, they do affect how fast your hair may grow. It affects the color and the texture, but it does not disqualify you from having long, healthy hair. Now, you just have to learn your hair, learn you, and I promise you your hair will grow. It'll take time and effort and trial and error for your hair to grow, but eventually, once you start to get to know your hair, because everybody's hair is different, you will definitely start to see a difference with how healthy your hair is and how long your hair gets. So my hair is currently at my mid-back. I'm going to show you guys. My neck is straight. I'm not bending my neck back. My hair is currently right here. It's right at the end of my bra strap, or my bra buckle. I've been growing my hair for a little over 2 years. I'll insert a picture of what my hair looks like right here. I decided to chop my hair off and do a pixie cut because I thought it was just so beautiful and I wanted to try it. I was inspired by a lot of people on Pinterest and Jada Pinkett and all that stuff. So I just wanted to try it like at least once in my lifetime, you know what I'm saying? And then, so that was 2019. And then in 2020 of August, I found out that I was pregnant. I was like, it'd be a perfect time to start growing my hair back. So I started growing my hair back in August of 2020. That was my last haircut, and here we are. However, before that, I started transitioning in the summer of 2014, and then I cut my hair off a year later in August of 2015. And then from there, I had my natural hair. It was super short. It was probably like stretched out. It was probably like right here. That's how long my hair was when it was stretched. So it was super, super short. However, I loved coloring my hair. Colored my hair different shades of brown. I bleached my hair probably twice. I've colored it shades of red. I've done purple. I've done auburn. I've done different types of ginger, black. I've done so many different colors. So my hair wasn't, I can even insert some more pictures for you. But my hair, like, you can tell that it was dry. It didn't look too bad, but I just knew that like this wasn't my hair's highest potential of what it could be. So that's also one of the reasons why I wanted to cut my hair and why I did cut my hair off in 2019. So here we are, and I'm going to tell you some tips that I use to encourage hair growth. First off, you have to select the proper products. You have to select the proper products for your hair texture and your hair problems. So like if your hair is dry, if you have breakage, if you have color treated hair, bleached hair, you have to select the proper products. Also, it depends on the texture of your hair. You know, if you're type 2C, if you're type 4C, like you more than likely aren't going to be using the same type of products. Also, the porosity of your hair. The porosity is how well your hair is able to maintain moisture. So you just definitely have to research that. You also have to go and look at the ingredients. There are some ingredients where they have bad preservatives, like alcohols that can dry out your hair, or sulfates that can dry out your hair. They also have products that have wholesome ingredients. So they have like good preservatives, also have less preservatives and more wholesome ingredients, and also organic ingredients. So you'll see people out here that'll be spending like hundreds of dollars for a weave, but they will not go and buy a $20 organic bottle of curl cream. Like, they don't take care of their natural hair, but they'll go broke for their weave. Like, that's insane. You need to invest in your natural hair if you want your hair to be healthy and if you want it to grow. Second thing I would say is to cleanse your hair properly. Sometimes when you wash your hair, in all reality, you're doing more harm than good. When you're washing your hair, it's best to section it off and make sure you're actually applying the shampoo directly to your scalp. Sometimes back in the day when I used to wash my hair, I used to just put a glob, like, or regardless if it was like on my head or on my hands, I would just go like this. But in reality, I realized that I would part it after the fact and there would not be 1 ounce of soap on my scalp. Like, all of the soap was on the strands of my hair. So basically my scalp was still dirty. So it's best to just section off your hair, have access to your scalp, and just directly apply it and focus on your scalp. You don't really need to directly put shampoo on your ends because you're just going to dry your hair out. Also, there are multiple types of shampoos. There's clarifying shampoos, which removes buildup. There's moisturizing shampoos. Some of them kind of have the best of both worlds for curly hair. There's also co-wash. Co-washing, like, they're actually labeled co-wash, so it's majority of it is conditioning agent with like a little tiny bit of shampoo, so it cleans your hair a little tiny bit while providing a lot of moisture at the same time. So just read what you want. And of course, you don't have to use the same exact shampoo every single time. Maybe every week you'll use the moisturizing shampoo and then every other month you'll clarify. You know, it just depends on what your hair needs at that time. A lot of people don't know, but the environment can definitely affect your hair. So if you moved somewhere and you realize like your hair is just not doing right, it can be the environment. So humidity level, the dry air, if it's super windy, hair can definitely become more tangled. It can become dry. It could just become brittle and break off depending on the environment that you live in. Also, take a look at your water. Depending on where you live, you might have hard water. It doesn't really matter if it's city water or well water, they can both be hard. Hard water means that it's dense with a lot of minerals such as zinc or iron or magnesium, and when you wash your hair, it just leaves like a hard cast on your hair, so your hair is just so dry and crusty. I actually didn't know about this until my friend Justine, we were in high school. I would go to her house all the time, we would do our hair. I went to go wash my hair in the sink and she stopped me. She's like, no, don't do that, it'll make your hair dry. So if you do have hard water, then you should either boil your water before you use it and just like scoop for it, or you can even use purified bottled water instead, or you can go to somebody else's house and wash your hair there, whatever is more convenient for you. If you have a house, you can also put in a water softening purifying system that purifies through osmosis, and it'll go ahead and take out all of those minerals out of your water. It'll make it nice and soft. Detangling your hair. When you're detangling your hair, make sure it's moist. Make sure you moisten it up with a good amount of water and a nice conditioner. So it'll help prevent breakage. If you comb your hair when it's dry, it doesn't have a protective layer and your hair is just going to be pluck and just breaking off. You can find whatever technique you like. I used to detangle with a brush, then I stopped, and then I used to detangle with a comb, then I stopped. Now I detangle with my fingers. Never used to pre-poo. I just started pre-pooing maybe like 3 months ago. Pre-pooing, I like to pre-poo because now I have kids, so usually I'll be in the shower for like an hour trying to detangle my hair, but now I'll probably get up when the kids are up and I'll start with my pre-poo. Then once I get downtime, then I'll hop in the shower and finish the rest of the process. So it's also kind of like you're doing a mini deep condition at the same time. I like it, and you're not wasting water as well. You can pre-poo with conditioner, you can pre-poo with oil, aloe vera, whatever you want, it works. And pre-pooing also provides that protective layer from the shampoo, because sometimes shampoo is just so harsh on our curls and you need just that nice layer of moisture to help you out. Also, for detangling, you should start off on small sections so that it's easier, so you can actually focus on a smaller section. It's just going to be easier for you to detangle. Next up is to condition. Curly hair is so dry. The reason why curly hair is dry is because the sebum, which is our natural oils that secrete from our scalp, and because our hair is curly, the sebum has a hard time working its way down the kinks and the curls. That's why those with straight hair more than likely would tell you that they wash their hair every day because their hair gets so oily. Since their hair is straight, that sebum just drips all the way down and it causes their hair to be greasy. So that's why those with straight hair have oily hair, and that's why those with oily hair, they usually suffer with dryness. Now, being that you have textured hair, you should be deep conditioning every single hair wash. Like, there should be no reason why you are not providing your hair with that extra love and tender care. Like, it needs to be moisturized. There's 3 types of conditioners. There's the regular conditioner, which is just called conditioner. Lightweight, it provides minimal hydration, and it's just called like a surface conditioner because it basically just like sits right outside of the cuticle. The next type is a deep conditioner, which of course it penetrates a little bit deeper to provide a little bit more moisture. However, it's not as hydrating as a hair mask. A hair mask is like the holy grail. Hair mask is like thick, and it can strengthen your hair, completely restore your hair, and it penetrates deep down into the hair cuticle and just completely restores your hair of nourishment. Regardless of what type of conditioner you use, you should always leave it on for at least 10 minutes, and if you can take the time out, use some type of heating source. So if you sit under a hooded dryer, if you put a bag over your head and you go outside, or you just walk around the house, or you work out with it on, that will help the products penetrate a little bit better and make sure that's actually doing what it's supposed to do. When you are washing out your conditioner, you should use cold water, or it doesn't have to be freezing cold, but like, you know, just cool water, definitely not hot, definitely below warm, so that it can seal that moisture into the cuticle. Use hot water, it's just gonna cause like a frizzy mess, and we don't want that. Next subject is moisture. So I'll let you know why curly hair is so dry. It's because of that sebum has difficult time traveling down the curl and the kinks, so our hair is dry. The way that I moisturize my hair, especially back when in 2020 when I started growing my hair out, every single wash day I would use aloe vera. Aloe vera is just like water, but 10 times better because it has all of the vitamins and all the fatty acids that you need to promote healthy hair, which then promotes hair growth. So if you're able to use fresh aloe, it's very easy to make aloe vera gel. All you have to do, you can blend it up and strain it if you'd like, but if you don't want to do that, a clean, easy way is just cut it, rinse it off, and then have it soak in a little bit of water and take out the chunks, and that's literally it. And the benefits are amazing. So when using that, between the aloe vera and using coconut oil and deep conditioning, my hair has been so hydrated. It's never been this moisturized before in my life. Like, you've seen the pictures and you saw how dry my hair was. So after you wash your hair, make sure you're using some type of leave-in conditioner or some type of curl cream to just keep your hair nice and hydrated. Different hydration methods. There's the LCO method, that is the liquid cream oil, or there is the lock method, which is the liquid oil cream. However, I feel like they both work. Just so you know that an oil is not a moisturizer, okay? I'm going to say it louder for the people in the back. An oil is not a moisturizer. An oil is a sealant. So if your hair is dry, you know, you had day 5 hair, and you go put coconut oil on your hair, you're just sealing in dryness. Before you apply oil, regardless if it's on your hair strands or on your scalp, you need to apply moisture first. So that's where the water comes in, or the aloe vera juice comes in. You apply that first, you apply all of that moisture, all of that liquid, and then you go and seal it in with that oil. Next up is make sure you're getting your trims and cuts. Some people are very ignorant when it comes to getting trims. They think that just because they have it straight in their hair for X amount of years that they don't need to trim. But in reality, trimming your hair is kind of like exfoliating your skin. No matter how much lotion you use on your skin, you're still gonna have that dense layer on your skin that you need to exfoliate off. So with your hair, no matter how much moisture you use, no matter what type of protective styles you use, your hair is always going to need some type of trim. And don't get confused between a trim and a haircut. A haircut changes the shape or the length of your hair. Okay, so like if you go and you get layers, you just change a whole different shape of your hair. If I had waist length hair and all of a sudden it's up to my neck, you just completely drastically change the shape and the length of your hair. Now a trim is minimal. A trim is probably less than 1/4 of an inch. If you go and get a trim, more than likely nobody's going to tell the difference. okay? So if you don't get a trim, you can have damage at your ends that are just gonna travel up the hair strands. It's gonna end up breaking off your hair, and your hair just isn't gonna be healthy. Usually when you go and get a trim, so also say this is classified as a trim, but in reality you need a haircut up to here. Do you want to keep it? And of course people say yes, I want to keep it because I want to keep my length, but do not sacrifice length over health. Like, we do not do that. We are not doing that, okay? For me personally, I trim my hair every 2 to 3 times a year. I know that my hair needs a trim, like if I'm brushing my hair, detangling my hair, you know, with a brush or a comb, and it gets to the ends in like the same section and it's just like tugging, and it's very, very rough and difficult for the brush or comb to travel down my hair strand. At that point, I know that I need a trim. Also, single strand knots, if I'm seeing like tons and tons of single strand knots all over my hair, or if I'm seeing the two-headed dragon is when you have one hair strand that's split, it's a split end, then I know that I need a trim. Or if it's been like 6 months and I'm like, dang, you should probably trim your hair. You know what I'm saying? That's how I know I need a trim. Avoid single strand knots or trauma to the ends of your hair. Make sure the ends of your hair are actually moisturized. Apply some hair cream and maybe even some hair butter on my ends. It just makes your ends nice and slippery so it doesn't get tangled, they don't get caught up on each other, and they don't break off and cause trauma. Also, wash and goes. If you do wash and goes like every single time you wash your hair, more than likely you're gonna have a lot of single strand knots because the ends are just freely drying, and they're, you know, more than likely gonna get caught up on each other, and then you're gonna end up having to break them apart. So I used to do single strand knots all the time when I first went natural. Like, that's the only thing I did. Recently I've been doing protective styles like braids and twists, and it actually definitely works. I haven't gotten any single strand knots since I've been doing these braid outs and these twist outs and the protective styles, so it definitely works. So that actually brings me on to my next subject of protective styles. Sometimes protective styles can also do more harm than good. If you are in a wig for 3 months, your actual natural hair in your scalp is dying underneath, like it's actually suffocating. And your hair needs to breathe. Your hair needs oxygen just like everything else that's living in the world. We all need oxygen. Every single part of our body, inside and out, we need to breathe and get fresh air. So if you have a protective style, the absolute max you should keep it in, especially if there's no access to your scalp, is 8 weeks. Other than that, like, you're just having product buildup and your hair is just dirty and it's not thriving that way. So if you're going to be doing protective styles, you have to make sure that your hair underneath is also moisturized. So an example would be if you're doing box braids, make sure your natural hair is nice and moisturized, especially the end. Try and make sure that you're moisturizing the ends of your hair, because of the fact that when you're using false hair, like braiding hair, it's so dry that it adds so much friction to the ends of the hair, and it's causing trauma to the ends, and you're more than likely to get split ends or single strand knots that way. So box braids, they're cute, but embrace your natural hair sometimes. Like, do mini twists, do the box braids on your own hair, because sometimes the false hair can cause trauma. Also with sew-ins, when you're getting the needle that's poking through your hair, you're more than likely breaking your hair strands off with that needle. That needle is definitely slicing off some of your hair strands. So just embrace your natural hair sometimes, you know? When you're doing a bun, I used to wear buns all the time, and if it stayed slick the next 2, 3, 4 days, I would keep it in a bun. And that goes back to the same things, that your hair needs to breathe. So if you have your hair up, unfortunately, I know, like, if it's still slicker, if your edges still look good, you have to let your hair down daily. Your hair has to breathe and be out daily, even if it's just for 30 minutes. Take your hair down, part it into 2 or part it into 4, and let that scalp breathe. That will also help with dandruff as well. So if you have too much tension on your hair, if you get cornrows or something like that, there's just no reason why your scalp should be lifted, and no reason why you should have a headache. If it's too tight, you're causing trauma to your scalp. You should not be in tears when you have a protective style. So if it's too tight, let them know. And it can also cause hair loss, especially when you get braids or something. There should definitely be little to no tension on the nape of your hair and the edges, because the edges are just so weak and they're more fragile than the rest of the hair. So when they get to the edges of your hair, you need to tell them to ease up, you know, chill out. It shouldn't be that tight. And stimulate, we need to stimulate our hair. So what is stimulation? Stimulation is when we are providing blood flow to a specific area. So we're providing blood flow, and blood flow provides oxygen, which provides life. So when we stimulate our scalp, you can use a lot of stimulating oil or stimulating shampoos with invigorating ingredients such as rosemary, mint, thyme, ginger, tree oil. When you use these type of invigorating ingredients, it stimulates hair follicle and the blood flow and the oxygen flow, and that increases the opportunity of growing out your hair. Stress, let's talk about stress. Stress comes and goes. If you do have a lot of stress, it can cause your hair to fall out. It can cause your hair to turn gray. It can cause stagnant hair growth. So it's easier said than done, but if you can decrease the amount of stress that you have in your life, do so. And if you are stressed out, or if you're even short on time, do not do your hair. Do not do your hair. I am sure you have that one auntie or your mom one time sat you down to do your hair when she was pissed off and she was just raking your hair out. I know we have all experienced that at least one time. Personally for me, I do have kids, so sometimes I do try to rush and, you know, to get my hair done before they wake up or whatever the case may be. But that I've done it myself. I've done a protective style. I've done a half up, half down protective style, and I put a little bit too much glue when I was rushing, and I definitely ended up snagging out some of my hair and breaking off some of my hair. So if you are short on time, don't do your hair. Just wait until you feel a little bit better. Wait until you have a little bit more time, or maybe do half and come back later and do the rest. Oh my gosh, leave your hair alone. So I have this bad habit of, like, when my hair is dry, when my hair is out, I just keep like twirling the ends of my hair, and then especially my edges, I'll take my edges and like twist it, and then even the back and the nape, and I'll just keep twisting it and playing it. Like, I don't know if it's because I'm bored or what, but it's such a bad habit. And then of course you're weakening your hair follicles, so they just pluck, and they just all like start plucking out. So you're causing trauma to your hair once again. And actually that is a condition, I don't really know how to pronounce it, trichotillomania, and that is, the definition is playing, tugging, or twisting the hair. So what I like to do is keep my hair moisturized or tucked away like this, or if that doesn't work, I do keep my hair covered. So I'll put on a bonnet or something, or I'll go ahead and put my hair in a bun, or I'll put on a headband to kind of protect my edges from the health and fitness. We need to be eating well, getting all of our vitamins, mainly from our food source. But of course, if you are lacking in that area, you can take multivitamins as well. I use Nature Bounty that has biotin in there. Make sure we're eating our greens, make sure we're eating our proteins and our fatty acids, because those are what's really going to help you with that nourishment from the inside out. Working out, we're all supposed to be working out, but I know some of us don't do it. But definitely get up and work out. That you're stimulating your whole entire body when you're working out. You're getting your blood flowing, you're getting that oxygen going, which is what we need for your body in general, which will then go and help with your hair growth. That can also help lower your stress levels as well. All right, so wow, that is actually my last tip of advice for you. I hope this helps. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Let me know down below which one was your favorite tip that I gave you for hair growth. In 2023, I'm on my journey to waist length. I have mid-back length hair right now, so by the end of 2023, I am determined to have waist length hair. And one way that I'm also going to do that is by making my own hair products, so stay tuned for that. So definitely like this video if this helped you, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.